Hello and namaskar. Welcome to the next episode of India Bounce Back. And thank you so much for the wonderful response on the last episode. Today, I have another eminent personality of India. And this is going to be a very interesting interview for all the women's, especially for all the organizations who want to understand in depth about what is POSH. And I think somebody who has worked on this area and has done instrumental work. Today, I have amongst India's leading certified POSH compliance expert and training expert, Raina Tandon ji. Raina ji, welcome to India Bounce Back. And I'm really obliged that you joined today with us for my viewers. She is an expert to various B2B organizations and trusts, and also an external member to many companies in Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Chennai. She's the founder of Right2rise, India's first and only ISO certified POSH organization into training, compliance, and auditing. A two-time TEDx speaker and speaker at various international global conferences for women in leadership and gender equality. She's an advocate LLB from Mumbai. She's a certified human rights from edX, Harvard, and IGNOU University. She's associated with 22 NGOs in Mumbai and 2 in Chennai and 1 in Hyderabad and 1 in Delhi. Global Women Economic Forum, WEF, and All Ladies League, all chapter head. She's chairing for both of these as a woman in coaching, training, and mentoring, Western region, India, Maharashtra. She has been accredited and with wonderful awards like Rex Karamveer Global Young Fellowship Award, Noble Asian Award winner 2018, Global Dignitary Award 2018, Nari Shakti Award winner, and the list is endless. So for all the details, you can go through the profile. I don't want to waste much time in explaining because I want to know from her, Madam, what I just read is an official introduction which anybody can read about you on LinkedIn, on Google when they search about you. I want to know the real story of Raina Tandon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anshul Dhingra, and thank you very much, India Bounce Back. It's a pleasure to be here as much as speaking to you and all the viewers of this channel. Thank you very much for giving such an inspirational invite and very warm and welcoming. I think every woman has a story to tell, so it's nothing new on that. Of course, my story has a lot of turns and twists. अगर जिंदगी में एक टर्न ना हो तो गाड़ी सीधी तो चल नहीं सकती. So ideally I would say हमारी जिंदगी में बहुत सारे टर्न्स आए हैं और हर टर्न पे हमने ये सोचा है कि कौन से मोड़ पे जाना है और ये मोड़ पे जाते जाते हम लोग पॉश के जर्नी पे आ गए हैं. Of course, I'm the founder of Right2rise and RKT Foundation. It is India's first and only ISO certified company into POSH trainings, compliance, and auditing. It's a part of ITF Global Private Limited, and we cater to not only organizations and B2Bs, SMEs, we also cater to institutions, schools, and colleges. Beyond that, yes, I've got a lot of awards and accolades, including World HRD Congress, Women Excellence Award, and I keep getting awards, accolades. I've been lately come in the Times of India and Midday, I've been referred as a woman with great excellence, starting up with RKT Foundation and Right2rise. I was also approached by Indian Express today to give them an interview on how gender sensitization and equality is most important today in life of any organization, because as we are growing in pandemic, there are many other value systems which we need to grow in. So yes, I emerged as a trainer. My education has been totally in a different line of being into VLSI chip design engineering. And yes, I was a hardcore IT person, but today from designing chips, I traversed to designing lives in 21 years of experience. Wow. And I'm proud to say that yes, my journey has been very amazing because of wonderful people, including you today, inspiring many millions on India Bounce Back. And I really, really feel that India and all the viewers down here also resonate with my journey and ups and downs which we will be going through, but I would not want to disclose the surprise instantly, so let's go with the flow of it. And thank you very much for having me once more here. We have different initiatives which we'll be talking through the journey. And
Wonderful.
over to you, Mr. Anshul.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So the second question is very relevant to the expertise which you carry right now, whether it's creating Rise to Rise, but the foundation is based on a concept called POSH. And still, I believe, although I also know a bit about it, many people have done a work, but I want to know you, and I would love you to educate my viewers on POSH more and POSH Act, and guide us step by step on how can someone identify, because mostly what happens is in various big organizations there are agencies, they are getting connected with a lot of people, they already have a base, but they can, where they can have, or I cannot say base, I can say reference point from where they can refer. But I want you to today address majority of the which is backbone of the country is SMEs and MSMEs. They are still not aware about this.
Absolutely.
In last 5 years, maybe I have approached or worked with around 400 more odd SMEs. More than 95% doesn't even aware about this term. So
Very true.
Yeah, I want you to tell my viewers today about the POSH Act, and when it is applicable and how it is applicable.
Right. So a very valid question, Dr. Anshul. In fact, I would really agree with you when you're saying that, yes, POSH is an act. So POSH is basically Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act for Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition, Redressal Act 2013. Being a specialist in this field and trying to understand the nuances of the foundation of how it emerged, going into the depth of the Me Too, Men Too cases, and also understanding why that didn't work out well because it was just a myth, or maybe it's been just another kind of movement which didn't go effectively in the way it had to go. But what and why is POSH important? Though we have the act from 2013, let's understand, uh, we all are here in a society always having men, women, and now another gender as well. And
True.
it's not one gender. Today we have about 7 or 8 different genders. So that's lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, LGBTQ. So QR plus, and many other forms which we may or may not still know.
Still no.
Now, when we have these kind of genders, when we have these different kind of people who we are meeting every day, it's very important that even if I'm a small entrepreneur, even if I'm a small startup, even if I have only few people working in my industry and today being online, a lot of people tell me, "Madam, नहीं किया तो क्या होगा? अभी एक्ट तो बन गया है, रूल तो बन गया है, लोग तो बोलते हैं हेलमेट पहनो फिर भी नहीं पहनते हैं, बोलते हैं बेल्ट पहनो फिर भी नहीं पहनते हैं गाड़ी चलाने, नहीं किया तो क्या हुआ?" अब ये नहीं किया तो क्या हुआ वाला रूल नहीं है. Those are rules and regulations, and they are okay if they are not being met. But this is a mandatory policy, and this is an act which has to be followed. It's not by choice, but it has to be followed as an organization policy. As much as health and safety is important, this is an act to maintain safe workplaces for every man, every woman, every transgender, or any other genders who are working. So क्यों करना चाहिए, ये तो आपको खुद सोचना है कि क्या आप एक प्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनना चाहते हो, क्या आप ग्रो करना चाहते हो, क्या आप वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनना चाहते हो जो लोग चाहें कि मैं आके वहां पे काम करूं, नॉट ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द वीपी और द सीईओ, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द पीपल अराउंड कि भाई ये इंसान मेरी बात समझता है, सुनता है, एंड देयर इज अ प्लेस, एन एथिकल प्लेस, एन इंक्लूसिव प्लेस, जो हम बोलते हैं कि एक दूसरे को समझ के आगे चलना, जो शायद सुनना हो, समझना हो, एक दूसरे को जानना हो, एक दूसरे को बॉडी लैंग्वेज हो, एक दूसरे को अनकंफर्टेबल फीलिंग नहीं कराना या एक जजमेंटल प्लेस नहीं बनाना, वैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस पे हम हमेशा ग्रो करना चाहेंगे.
True.
I'll give you an example. Right2rise is a private limited company which works into POSH, POXO, stress, and also human rights. And RKT Foundation works on the CSR initiatives of how we can drive into NGOs and other sectors where rural, semi-rural areas are not able to afford certain services. We need to cater to them. So it's a pro bono venture. But when we started something like having a lot of people from the young souls as interns or people who could come and learn from us, I understood that these people don't even know the major difference of being in a college and being in a professional setup.
True.
Okay, so today we might get people who are very young and we might get people who are very old, लेकिन बहुत important चीज ये है कि आज हम 3 generations के साथ काम करते हैं.
True.
हमारे पापा मम्मी के, वहाँ के, हमारे जनरेशन और हमारे बच्चों के जनरेशन के.
True.
So even now it's important to bring or align different generations to understand by unwanted क्या होता है, unrelated क्या होता है, sexual intent क्या होता है. So if I tell you POSH is basically anything unwanted, unwelcome, physical, verbal, any kind of abuse where you're making the other person feel uncomfortable. It could be pornographic images, it could be SMSs, it could be any form of sexually colored remarks. किसी के बारे में कुछ बोल देना, कुछ कमेंट मार देना, उनके फिगर के बारे में, उनके कपड़ों के बारे में, उनके रहन सहन के बारे में, या उनके सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन के बारे में, या टैटू और जो भी मार्क्स हैं, जो भी बर्थ मार्क्स हैं, मोल मार्क्स हैं, हम ऐसी चीजों पे कैजुअली कमेंट कर देते हैं.
True.
लेकिन अभी आपको केयरफुल रहना है. ओपन स्पेस में तो आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, बिकॉज यू कैन से इट्स अ फ्री विल ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच. लेकिन ये फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच जब आप एक प्रोफेशनल सेटअप में आ जाते हैं, तो आपको कहीं तो एक, you have to somewhere become agile and resilient, और वो दोनों चीजें आपको आगे लेके जाएगी to become a growing organization.
True.
अगर आप दूसरे के बारे में समझ नहीं सकते, सोच नहीं सकते, उन दोनों को अलाइन करके ये नहीं जान पाते कि भाई मैडम मुझे कैसे पता कि वो इंसान को अच्छा नहीं लगा. अगर इतनी छोटी सी बात आपको समझ में नहीं है, तो आप इतने बड़े बड़े क्लाइंट के नीड्स कैसे समझने वाले हैं?
True.
Because at the end of the day, we say business is about understanding the key of the client or the need of the client. So when you understand the need, you have to become more and more susceptible or aligned by being very understanding, by understanding what's going on in their mind. Is it something they like, they don't like? Is there something unwanted? Is there something sexual? Is there an intent which is not right or wrong? So it all comes back to the same foundation. Are you understanding the basis of being gender sensitive? Are you understanding the basis of POSH? So yes, a step-by-step procedure when you say to identify anything, I will say only 3 things, which is very simple. Anything which is unwanted and unwelcomed, अगर आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता, जो अच्छा है, जो something what is good or I like might not be something which you like.
True.
So it is unwanted and unwelcome for me. Is it having a sexual intent? Number 2, is it something which is subjective? If any of these 3 things are there, अगर आप ये 3 चीजें फील करते हैं, अनवांटेड, अनवेलकम, सेक्सुअल इंटेंट है, और अगर आपको लगता है कि सिर्फ मेरे लिए ही या किसी एक ही के लिए है, सब्जेक्टिव है, तो वो हो जाता है सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट. अगर आप उस चीज से गुजर रहे हैं काम पे, तो आपको सिर्फ 2 चीजें करनी है. या तो आप खुला जाके वो इंसान को बोल दो, भाई ये चीज मुझे अच्छी नहीं लगती, इसको आपको नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो आपको लिए अच्छी होगी, लेकिन मुझे वो नहीं भाती है. आई डोंट resonate with that. I do not like it. It's unwanted, unwelcome for me. So please don't do it. If they continue doing it, the only thing you can do is to go and seek help for the HRIC committee, where they take the next steps of identifying what's going wrong and then readdressing it. So that gets into a criminal investigation or an inquiry which is supposed to be handled. So
Okay.
those are the steps of probably coming either mentally, either physically. Only when you speak, then people know. Because not everything can be found out by a body language or by a facial expression. आपका काफी बार unintentionally भी हम लोग चीजें कर लेती हैं, जिसकी वजह से किसी दूसरे को भी दिक्कत हो सकती है. लेकिन अगर आप कन्वे कर लेंगे, कम्युनिकेट कर लेंगे, which is the basis of all foundation in life, then it will make life more easier.
Easy.
I'm sure it's easier said than done, but बहुत सारे लोग वो बोल भी नहीं पाते हैं because of many reasons.
True.
For people who can't communicate, then you'll have to find other ways, like maybe write it down and send it, or maybe inform the HR or inform a friend or inform a colleague so that they can convey it through.
True.
वो भी चीज कर सकते हो आप.
रैना जी, मेरा इसी से ही एक रिलेटेड सवाल है, और ये सवाल बहुत बार मेरे सामने आया है, मैंने सुना है, ऑब्जर्व किया है. अब मैं फिर SME और MSME की पर्सपेक्टिव में आपसे समझना चाहूँगा. अब पॉश कमेटी बनाने के लिए, जैसे अभी आपने HRICC की बात करी, वो कोर कमेटी बनाने के लिए मिनिमम क्राइटेरिया क्या रहता है? कितने वर्कफोर्स की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो, क्या उसका क्लॉज रहता है? ये एक बहुत रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है बहुत MSMEs के लिए, कि उनको ये नहीं पता होता कि उनको पॉश की कमेटी बनानी है आईसीसी की नहीं बनानी है?
So ideally, अगर आपके कंपनी में 10 लोग से कम लोग हों, if you have 10 and less than 10, then ideally you don't have to create an IC committee because you're a very small setup. For anybody to create an IC committee, you have to have at least minimum 4 members from the company and an external person who's an NGO person or a legal lawful expert or somebody who understands law, legality, women and women issues and have worked with NGOs for more than 5 years. अगर आप वो सब चीजें समझते हो, then you can become an IC expert panel. Apart from that, 4 members minimum. So totally you need 5 members in a company. लेकिन अगर आप छोटी सी कंपनी हो 10 लोगों की, तो 10 लोगों की कंपनी में अगर 5 लोग ही IC member बन जाए तो क्या मतलब है? So the thought process behind it is, government has said if you have 10 or less than 10, you can connect to the local complaints committee which is there in every district or every taluk or every area. तो वो सेक्टर में अगर आप जाके रजिस्टर करोगे तो कोई ना कोई एलसी कमिटी है जो आप एलसीसी आके आपकी कंपनी को रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं इन केस यू हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम्स और इश्यूज. अगर आप फिर भी आईसी कमिटी बनाना चाहते हैं, then you can reach out to somebody like us where we can create the committee for you so that you have your policy and committee in place and everything works ethically. अगर 10 से ज्यादा लोग हैं तो आपको आईसी कमिटी बनानी चाहिए which has a group of maybe 5, 7, 9, 11 based on the strength of your company or organization. उतनी बड़ी या more committees can be formed so that the entire space can be maintaining a safe and ethical workspace.
So is there any minimum number of women to be a part above that?
Yes, so more than 50%, so ideally I would say 70% of the committee should be women. Now when I'm saying 70%, if you have 5 members, then at least 3 should be women, 2 should be men.
Okay, that's
and
good.
if it is 7 members, then at least 5 members should be women and 2 members should be men. Now again, when I'm saying that, there is a lot of mix and match. So if you're IC member, there is no rule that the external member should be a woman. It can be a man.
Correct.
If it's a man, then please balance with your other members because more than 50%, that is at least 60-70% should be women. Now you can calculate what is 60-70%. You can't make half a woman and half a man. So ideally, I would say if you have 7, it's 5 women. If you have 5, then it's 3 women. If you have 9, then it's 7 women, which makes it, or maybe 6 women and 3 men, whatever. It can be different combinations and permutations, but more number of women because it's more a women-oriented law.
Yes.
And when it was made, I think women were vulnerable, but I would not say today women are vulnerable only. There are men also who fall a trap of all these, maybe a false allegation or some kind of malicious complaints.
True.
So today both committees are.
Yeah, that's a flip part of it also.
Yes, so both genders are generally, I would say they both are vulnerable.
True.
More on the women's side, but both genders are vulnerable today.
Yeah, because I normally, when I, as a coach, when I work with these SMEs, they're typically of size of like from 50, 60 employees to 300 employees, 200
Absolutely.
employees. Everybody of need, they should have this.
Yes, they should ideally have an IC committee. But like you said, I think more than 90% people don't even know of the act, even though the act is there, even though the government says that please propagate it and please promote it and you need to have this committee in your system. It's a mandatory thing. Still, a lot of them don't know. So the awareness is not there, and that's why we are here to create more and more awareness through even your viewers.
And it is there, like for example, what I have seen is like, अपने जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि भेड़ चाल होता है, अगर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कुछ ऐसा इंसिडेंट हो जाता है जो हाईलाइट होता है, उसके बाद उसके इर्द गिर्द के सब एरियाज के अंदर वो कमेटी बननी शुरू हो जाती है, अचानक से वहाँ पे एक्सपर्ट भी पैदा हो जाते हैं, ये एक रिदम बनता है. बट व्हेन यू एक्सप्लेन दिस इट,
और जब तक कुछ होता नहीं है, काफी बार वो भी होता है कि यार ठीक है अभी नहीं करते हैं तो मे बी बाद में कर लेंगे, और जब भी कुछ इंसिडेंट अकर हो जाता है तो फिर वो भागे भागे आ जाते हैं कि मैडम अभी ऐसी बात है कि मतलब आपसे कभी बात हुई थी, ऐसे ऐसी कमेटी बनाना था तो आज हम बना लेते हैं. तो मैं सोचती हूँ भाई ऐसे कैसे सडनली आपको याद आ गया. तो फिर वो बताते हैं कि मैडम ऐसी बात है कि बनाते बनाते हम लोग ये भी बोलना चाहते हैं कि ये दिक्कत आ गई है और ये प्रॉब्लम आ गया है, एंड देन आई एम ओके.
Correct, it happens.
So yeah, it's quite normal, but only when you have a pain area, then you remember the doctor.
True.
So it's like that. But I would still say, friends, that भाइयों और बहनों प्लीज उस वक्त का इंतजार ना करें, क्योंकि वो चीज को सॉल्व करना बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत का काम है. उससे पहले का प्रिवेंशन बिफोर क्योर जो होता है, उसको प्लीज फॉलो करें. आप उतना पैसा, उतना दिक्कतें, उतना प्रॉब्लम्स तभी नहीं झेल पाएंगे जितना आपको अगर केस हो गया. And there are multiple areas where you fall, and it's difficult to come out of, in terms of men, women, all of them having issues with each other.
True.
So please create a safe environment, and that's what is better off.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. And to all my viewers who are watching, most of you are SME owners. This is for all my clients and all my people who are watching right now. This is really mandatory. And if you really want to connect, I will share all her details in the chat. You can right away connect with her and shoot an email to her organization. They will get in touch with you, because this is very, very important. Raina ji, mera next question hai, what should a female or a male who find himself being harassed in the workplace, mentally or physically, should do?
Okay, so when the person undergoes harassment, like I said, first you communicate to the person, number one, and tell him that, this is what I did not like. Because कभी कभी एक हाथ मिलाना भी किसी को अच्छा नहीं लग सकता अगर आपने उसको बहुत ही गंदी तरीके से किया हुआ है. चाहे आपने उसको दबा दिया, या मे बी हाथ एक जगह पे है, दूसरा हाथ किधर और है, शोल्डर पे हो या बैक पे हो या कहीं पे भी हो, जो किसी दूसरे को अच्छा नहीं लग सकता, जो आपके लिए बहुत कैजुअल हो, या आपके देखने का नजरिया गलत हो, या उनको कुछ तो अजीब लग रहा है जो उनको सहूलत नहीं देता कि दिस इज व्हाट इज कंफर्टेबल टू मी. अगर ऐसी कोई बात है तो बता दे कि भाई दिस इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल टू मी. So be assertive, do not smile and give wrong signals to people that maybe it's still okay and you are still saying it's not okay. I would say when you are serious, then be serious when you're communicating. Do not communicate wrong ways and means. By then even the other gender doesn't know what to do.
True.
So they come back and say that we didn't get any idea that she doesn't like it. तो प्लीज उसको अच्छे से कम्युनिकेट करें कि भाई मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आया, प्लीज ना करें. या किसी ने ऐसे ही अभी जैसे दशहरा है और दिवाली है, किसी ने आपको कॉम्प्लीमेंट दे दिया, लेकिन आपको वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट सही नहीं लगा, बिकॉज यू आर फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट लाइफस्टाइल या डिफरेंट घर से हैं, तो आपको अच्छा नहीं लगा, तो कम्युनिकेट कर दीजिए. नहीं होता है तो किसी ना किसी एम्प्लॉई या फ्रेंड या कोलीग या कोई भी काउंसलर है या कोई भी साइकेट्रिस्ट है, साइकोलॉजिस्ट है, जो आपके बहुत ही पहचान के हो, पास के हो, जिससे आप कन्फाइड कर सके, उनको बोलिए कि इनको बता दे कि भाई ऐसी चीज हमें समझ में नहीं आई. आइडियली 98% तो लोग समझ जाते हैं, क्योंकि लोगों को भी प्रॉब्लम में नहीं पड़ना. अनलेस अनटिल आप प्रॉब्लम मेकर हो, आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम खड़ा करना है, अपने आप को परेशान करना है, क्रिमिनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन के थ्रू जाना है, और काम छोड़ के आपको कहीं और कोई और काम ना मिले, इस वजह में नहीं पढ़ना है, तो देन आई थिंक यू शुड क्लोज हियर. लेकिन अगर आप एक ट्रबल मेकर हो, then ideally the way forward is there will be some kind of inquiry, investigation, and you might undergo some criminal offense, or maybe some penalties in terms of fines or any other compensations. So the quickest way is to communicate either through you, other than you, or maybe then the other way around is through HR or ICC taking action.
एक और सवाल है जो बहुत बार मेरे सामने आया और अचानक अभी दिमाग में आया. इस आईसीसी के अंदर मैनेजमेंट के रोल, जो मैनेजमेंट के लोग होते हैं या प्रोमोटर्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के, they should be a part or they should not be a part of the ICC?
They ideally should not. So we generally request the HR or the senior most people not to be a part of the ICC, because ICC is a very, very important role to play.
True.
And we do not want anybody to be influenced either by power or position. Secondly, HR is a very different position where there are multiple responsibilities to be held. And in that responsibilities, we do not want them to have pressures of running another inquiry or another situation. So ideally, the person holding the position should be from non-HR and non-BP or CEO or COO, because they can always be a part of every investigation to know what and how things are progressing. You can keep them in the loop, but ideally it's not advisable to have them
It
to
can be
have in the
yeah, it
same
can be
committee. The committee operates with a lot of uh, their own responsibilities, their own stress levels. They might have certain things to communicate. They might have certain processes to go through, certain judgments to make, certain solutions to provide. And when we are going through all that, it is important that we do it ethically. It is important that we find facts and figures. It's important to coordinate with a lot of people. It's important to do quite a lot of work. So I don't think anybody who's already very busy should come into that system and try and say, okay, fine, let's just do it, kind of a thing. So
true,
that's not what is ideal.
true,
So we suggest that, but then there are organizations who feel that there are CEOs or VPs or COOs who want to be a part of it. If they are, then ideally they can be made as a part of it, but I would still say that the decision should not be based on also only his decision, because then it becomes an influencing or a judgmental decision.
yes, yes, very, very true, very true, very true.
Yeah.
Nanaji, now next question is, I think many of my viewers who are watching this right now and will watch later, uh, would love to would love to get inspired from you better. And I want to know, there are various women or professionals who really want to accomplish what you accomplish in your own life. Could you please tell my viewer, what top 5 skills or qualities do you feel you have which made it possible for you?
Okay, so top 5 qualities. That's a very difficult answer, but I'll just say what worked for me. And okay, so number one is patience is always on the top, which is very difficult to be saying, but it's very easy. I know it sounds like a very simple word. People might use big words like leadership. Okay, leadership comes by probably leading from the front or leading from the back. That's a second trait which person needs. But I would say the first trait is having a lot of patience.
True.
Second is being very agile. So patience and resilience comes together. So being very calm, composed, and being able to understand where what needs to be done. You don't have to jump on a conclusion the very same moment or the very same minute. It can take some time. You can have some sleepover and then come back to a decision. So it helps a long way. Secondly, after having patience and resilience comes leadership. Yes, taking charge of your own and all the people around you. So you cannot always have a counselor, or you can't always have a person pushing you, motivating you to do things.
True.
So unless until you are not a leader of your own and you have your own ways of working, and you try and understand what's right, what's wrong, jump into making some decisions and delegating things. And it's okay if you falter, it's okay if you fall, but I'm sure after the fall there is always a rise.
True.
And you will rise, because we all believe that we are here to rise. That's
True.
why my company name is also Right to Rise, because we believe that every person has the right to rise. So I would say leadership is next. Third is being okay, a lot of coordination, lot of so patience, resilience, agility. Agility comes third. Why agility? Is because you need to be flexible and coordinating.
True.
Okay, you can't be very stringent about whatever you do. Okay, you need to be a little flexible. Even now in pandemic, if things are not working, what works? You need to keep on innovating on that. So the next is innovating and technology. You need to keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. So I don't know, I'm always learning and learning. I keep doing a lot of courses. I keep doing a lot of changes in my system. I keep learning new things. I keep applying those new things. So if you don't keep innovating, if you don't keep applying a lot of technology, if you can't keep learning, that's not going to help. So the fourth will be that. And fifth, to add the cherry on the top, you need to have everything together. So I actually lost the word, but yes, let's go through it again. So patience and resilience, and there's agility, and there's leadership, and okay, I just had that word, but then I lost it.
No.
So a
Yeah.
lot to do maybe with the
Taking everybody along. You want to just take everything along in the one direction, something like that.
Okay, I had it, but then, okay. So maybe just bring identity together. Yes, I got it. So being ethical and integrity person.
Wow. Yes. I think that has to
Okay.
be very.
I don't know what it is for everybody else. For me, ethics comes number one. If you're not an ethical person, if you're not an integral person, if you can't create something of your own, then it's very difficult for you to grow,
True.
because you can keep copying, but copying ends someday.
True.
Okay.
Very true.
And I have seen many people copying things, and I just say bless them, because I'm very happy that they at least copied me and I had something to give them. And it feels good that somebody feels that they can copy you. That's also good. But I don't know, maybe initially it makes you feel very sad, but then now I get very inspired when anytime anybody copies me, because I know that I create something new then. So
Yes.
it pushes me to create something new. So it
Wow.
excites me, and it creates a lot of motivation. So I would say motivation comes from there.
Perfect. Perfect.
Maybe it'll be a wrong thing for somebody else, but it works well for me.
No, no. Perfect. Perfect. That's really encouraging. My next question:
Yeah.
if I want to give this as an opportunity right now,
Mhm.
if I want you to feel gratitude to 5 people who really supported you in this wonderful ups and downs of your journey, on your struggles, challenges, and every part, who will be those 5 people who you want to feel gratitude to?
Oh, I have so many in the list, but
Top five.
ऐसे top five तो कोई नहीं हो सकता है, but I'll probably give the first one to my parents, second to my to my husband, third to my mentor. I have multiple mentors, but I have a very close mentor now who keeps sharing a very different relationship in terms of work, in terms of the same value systems I carry. So maybe to him, and then to God, of course, because I think everybody makes decisions in their life with their intellect.
True.
Okay. No matter how much you get influenced, no matter how much you talk to people, again you come back to yourself.
True. Very true.
Okay.
Very true.
So you always believe in what you want to do, and you do what you like to do, even though people tell you do this, do that.
True.
So yes, my family, friends, all that come there. My mentor comes there. God comes there. You, and then fifth one, I don't know. Maybe there's a long list of people, friends, family. You can put all of them in the fifth bucket,
Wow.
but I can't take one person's name. It
I
will
know.
not be very good on you, but you can put all of them. All my loving friends and family.
Wow.
That's what.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you
Good.
so much.
Now, another question is very interesting, and my viewer will be very much keen to know about that as well. This is a very typical question which we ask in every interview, because every success story goes through a bounce back moment. There
Yeah.
is a moment in their life, and sometimes multiple moments, when the picture is fuzzy. They're not able to see the future. They really see a lack of confidence, maybe all negative thoughts, feelings, but then because of consistency, patience, because of some clarity, some support, you stick to your path and you get through it. So if I want to know your bounce back moment of your life.
I've never shared this, so it's going to be interesting actually for me too.
Okay.
That's interesting. So everybody has a lots of ups and downs. I've had multiple bounce backs. I won't probably share a lot of them. Maybe there's personal bounce back, there's a professional bounce back. But I remember one bounce back which I can talk with regards to my work. So everybody goes through this life where they are like, यार अभी ये भी कर लिया, वो भी कर लिया, वो भी कर लिया, अभी क्या करूं? Okay, so I had that one bounce back when I was a 9 to 5 person, and I've done my engineering, I've done my masters, I've done my PhDs in VLSI, and then I did everything from business development, from HR, from even being a freelancer, from being a lot of things, and finally I come up to what do I do with my life? I mean, I can't be this 9 to 5 person. And I'm meant to do something more, and then I come up into this training world. But coming to training world, coming to coaching world was okay. The next big thing on my mind after about 1 or 2 years down the line was, oh God, everybody seems to be talking about NICHE. What the hell is this niche, niche, niche? Okay, and I really did not understand. I was telling my husband, because we both are basically IT professionals. It's like, I really don't know what people mean by this freelancing world having niche. Niche, I hear Tony Robbins talking niche, I hear Robin Sharma talking, I hear Brian Tracy, I hear my trainer community, my coaching community. I'm like, what the hell is this niche? How do I really get this? And having doing work in training and coaching, I'm today one of the global 100 mentors in the world on Thrive Globe uh, platform. On multiple platforms I do training, and I've been known as an acclaimed trainer. But even after that, I didn't know my niche. So it was like, oh my god, this is something. How can you be so miserable after being so learned and so knowledgeable? And then I get this one person coming up and telling me, I think this is your niche. And then I did one training, I did two training, and then three training. And he said, I know that you're meant for this. And like, really? So then I went, I studied, I got to know. And till today, I'm doing that. Okay, it's quite different from being an IT professional to being a legal expert.
True, very true.
And you asked me how posh, just before we started, how POSCO, how is that you became somebody working for the human rights of women, human rights of individuals? It's basically not even about women. It's not about women empowerment. It's about a mindset.
True.
When people ask me, is it about women? Is it about human rights? Is why POSH is only a women-oriented thing? I say POSH or POSCO is not about women and children. It's about the mindset of the person to be changed. So I'm very much looking at the person having an identity, may it be man, may it be woman. It's about talking about how you can change the mindset of that person to be a better individual. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to become a miracle maker. I wanted to become a limitless enabler. I wanted to be somebody touching people's life. And that's what it means. So it all came back to the same thing, that, this is what you're meant to be. Now, that was a bounce back moment, I would say. And even today, I haven't been speaking much about it, but then I feel maybe that kind of moment will come in everybody's life. It's just that somebody told me, even if you stand, suddenly you get a eureka moment, or if you're in your shower, or if you're in a toilet, or if you're walking down the street, or if you're jogging or something, suddenly you get your niche moment. I never got all of those things, let me tell you. Some people do get those moments. So if it works with you, go do it. But then it just came into my life. Maybe it was the right time, the right moment. Wait for it if you are one like me who's banging your head to find your niche. Okay, it will come. Maybe somebody will come and knock you. Like Dr. Anshul Dhingra also has his own people and own mentors. It will come to you. Believe in yourself. I won't say believe me. I'll say believe in yourself.
And that's a powerful statement. I will say, believe in yourself, because this crisis time has shaken the belief of many people. And I'm keep on repeating in every IPB, in every interview, where every eminent personality, every successful individual says the same thing. First, you need to believe in yourself if you want some miracles to happen in your life. So moving ahead and making this interesting, a little in conversation, a little more interesting. Moving to the second round, and this is a rapid fire round. So I will be speaking a word, and what first word or sentence comes in your mind, you just have to speak that. Okay, so here we go. First is school.
School. So that's Sacred Heart Matriculation Higher Secondary School. That's my friends. When I go to school, I remember friends.
Okay. College.
College. So I was a dance freak. So I was a performer I was a performer at college. So yeah, I used to go into dance and debates and competitions where I used to perform. Maybe a singer, maybe a dancer. Yeah.
Wonderful. Family.
Togetherness.
Okay. Friends.
Cool buddies, have fun.
Okay. Women of India.
So is it a tag or is it anybody you want me to remember? If it's a tag, Women of India, Raina Tandon. Raina Khatri Tandon. If it's not, then it's Dr. Kiran Bedi. Yeah, I can remember her. Yeah.
So, okay. Safe workplace.
India.
Okay.
India 2023. Let's
India.
make it a date and a time.
Okay. Wow. Good. Leader.
Jack Ma, Simon Sinek. I really get inspired by their talks.
Work.
So yeah.
Motivation.
Yeah, so motivation is again same thing. Tony Robbins and Simon Sinek and Bill Gates. I like reading a lot of books, so I like all the stories of the founders and CEOs. So all of them, they all inspire, they all motivate. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Posh.
Safe workspaces, inclusiveness for all genders.
India.
Tiranga.
And last but not the least, this initiative, India Bounce Back.
Okay, you want me to say what I feel at India Bounce Back?
The first word comes in your mind, your feeling.
Marvelous.
Wow, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Moving to the next round, and this is typically about how we dealt with this, how you as an individual dealt with this last 6 to 6.5 months. All we have gone through this crisis, this pandemic time. So my question is, how, according to you, last 6 months have impacted our country, and what impact it had on you personally, professionally, both? So 3 questions in 1 question.
Yeah, so last 6 months has been very exciting for me. I don't know for the other people. I've always had so much of fun. One thing which was very good. Let's talk
I
about
think
the country first. Let's
in the
talk about
last
the
6
country.
months, you might have got less complaints.
Yeah, no, I was complaining less.
Oh.
So I will say I was complaining less because I didn't have mates to complain. I didn't have workers to complain. I was doing all the work, and I was not complaining even from my friends and family also because they were doing everything. So
Okay.
ideally, 6 months have been a wonderful journey, and I don't want the pandemic to end. I would say I know people would really kill me for that, but there's been a lot of good things which has happened. One, nature has become better. We have fresher air. We have less traffic. I think the country has progressed much more higher in terms of sustainability, in terms of natural growth. We've got better output. We got better outcome. But yes, the sales and growth and productivity has dropped because we had a lot of industries shut down.
True.
Now these people are being they are reinventing themselves. They're coming back. They're getting more technology prone. They're getting more gamified. They're getting on more LMS systems and learning all the technology and getting everything down there. But still, there are industries like manufacturing, pharma, oil, IT. Any of these power industries, see, they will still be having workers who will not be technology related. So they still have to be on the plant side. They still have to do all the work. They still have to be there. What impacted there is a lot of people did not have work because some of the industries did not have any movement, like rental estate, real estate. A lot moving on was medical and insurance.
Yes.
A lot working was stock and all the things which were going up and down, which worked. Yes, some of the countries didn't get affected, like Bangladesh, Nepal, all the eastern countries which are there on the globe, because I think they bounce back faster rather than India.
True.
India, I don't think was so much impacted because India has seen a lot of changes. Okay, there has been different kind of pandemics earlier, and we have always been. We've seen demonetization, we've seen change of weather, we've seen change of what Modi's been doing. We had UPI and BIM and cashless or contactless pay, and then we had this pandemic. We already had some kind of a similar medical pandemic few years back, but we bounced back even that. So India people are very agile. Okay, it's just that they keep cribbing for some things all the time. And I think when the pandemic hit, they were all together. So, like Modi coming and saying, hit the bell or hit the sounds, and it all brought unity, diversity, a
Correct.
lot of
Correct.
people together, which was good. I don't see anything getting impacted other than you not having a lot of money and business. But that's not life. That's not all about life. You had families coming together, you had men doing work, you had women doing work, you had children doing work, you had people indoors, you had less amount of cribbing, you had So ideally, even people paid their workers and their maids and their bhaiyas and didis and all that also, because they understood they were more caring and nurturing.
True, very true.
They were very caring, they were very helpful people. I don't think people would have offered so much help in so many years as much as they've done it during pandemic.
Yes.
They went over and above to give food, grains, medical help, doctors helping all over the place, you going and giving food, you going and giving shelter, you going and, oh my God, okay, this person is sick. So, we had people coming and giving food and all if the entire floor has been quarantined. All these things have never happened in your life.
Yes, very true. Very
So
true.
I find everything positive on the top of the world. I mean, I didn't have to travel anywhere. I was sitting and doing all my work at home, which I always do. But I was enjoying that everybody is home and we are having a gala time. After some time, I think some of the ladies found it very irritating because they don't want their husbands home. But one bad thing was education industry.
Yeah.
So education industry trying to improve, but then schools and other things, they can't work from home. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I don't see that hitting too well. Yes, they're trying to do a lot with technology, but then बच्चे ऐसे पढ़ते नहीं हैं.
It has its own foundations.
Yes, so it has their own boundaries and they don't want to go over and above something. So educational industry is number one, real estate is number two. A lot of industries which have their workers needed to be there at the spot, those kind of industry, it could be chemical industry, it could be a lot of industries which work on the floor, including matlab garments, banana ho ya textile ya leather and all that, that all went down the drain, poor things. But I see that 6 months have been good. Personally, professionally, I think people have started growing because internally they knew that they need to change and they have changed.
And they got
I
the
would,
time to change.
yes, they were happy to change. It's just that they were being forced to push to change, and change is good because it causes a movement. The movement always makes you grow. So
Perfect.
I feel it's good.
Perfect. Perfect. So now coming to the next question. When the things are moving towards the new normal or the normal, which the term is coined as new normal for 2020 or 2021 now. So when organizations are moving towards that new normal, how do you see, related to, if I talk about more about POSH, how do you see and predict the cases will be more? There will be, because people are going through a lot of turmoil in the mind, there could be a lot of depression cases, anxiety cases getting, I heard a lot about these things happening in different organizations. Maybe the momentum is also low in various organizations. How do you see the future and of the new normal? And do you see, and do you predict that cases will be more, or what is your call on that?
So a lot of things come from this that see, even now we have a lot of cases. Okay, just that the cases have switched with being not face to face; they're being online. So even online, there are a lot of forms of harassment which occurs. We may not be discussing what kind of harassment occurs, but then there are many kind of work from home and online cyber crime which is occurring. There could be frauds, there could be cyber crime, there could be harassment, there could be abuse. And again, like you said, there's a lot of domestic violence which is increased because people are very anxious, they're irritated, they're frustrated by being at home and they don't want to do what all they were very positively doing earlier. Now it's like बस हो गया यार, अभी तो खोल दो सब कुछ, ऐसे उनका feeling आता है.
True.
But then again I will say, um, if you create a productive day, if you start with a schedule in mind, if you keep all your areas balanced, that's your health, your fitness, your work, your professional, personal, kids, your passions, everything balanced, your day will go good.
Perfect.
But if you just focus on one area, you will get agitated, anxiety, and you will have a lot of issues. Yes, मारधार, मारपीट, ये सब चीजें सब घरों में होती है, नई बात नहीं है. लेकिन अगर आप उसको बाहर उछाल के जाओगे, तो then there will be more cases, and which is already there.
True.
And there are lawyers already facing a lot of things. Only thing is, now the problem is that you solving a case online is not going to help that much as you're in front of the client. Because you can't be petting or caressing or even talking about it, that you need to understand at the end of the day it's not a skill that everybody knows how to bring behavioral competencies on technology.
Perfect.
So ideally I would say that whatever the role is there, the new normal is this. You have to accept it and move on. So let's just quickly understand, and whatever we want to pursue, we need to move and grow. So what you can do is adapt, 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 adapt. Adaptability is the new change. The new normal is adaptability. Agility, resilience, all those things are virtues which you need to carry on with what you're going in. Gamification, technology, AI, robotics, all those are again the new normals of what you need to emotional intelligence. You already are emotional and you already are intelligent, and you've always been there. So there's nothing new that you're going to do. So
True.
let's not fool ourselves and go and sit down in an EI workshop or something like that. You already have emotions in you and you're intelligent.
Perfect.
So let's just bring that all together, what we have, and first try and experiment. ये करते हूँ तो क्या होता है, वो करता हूँ तो क्या होता है. The only fear to experiment. That's the only thing.
True. One statement which you just mentioned is bothering me now. So I want you to give a clarification. And that is, you said there is, like, now I'm doing, I think like you also, I'm doing a lot of webinars. I think one minimum per day or two minimum per day, and I'm interacting with hundreds of people now. I hope nobody can do a case against me on my different actions.
Not really. It depends on what you do. But then a
I'm doing
simple
this
way
with
of understanding is that other people, are you doing it only for one person or for all?
for all.
If you're actually, so the ideal thing of harassment is, again I said, it's three things. Is it sexual? Is it subjective? Or is it something unwanted, unwelcome?
True.
It can be unwanted, unwelcome, but it won't be sexual, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And it won't be subjective.
True. Now, next question is, at this time when India is moving towards a revival, what role, Raina ji, as an individual, you are going to play in the new normal? What do you feel your role in the new normal?
So,
as an influencer, as an educator, as a POSH expert, as a human rights expert, as a mother, as a professional, you are playing so many roles. What do you feel?
I will continue playing all these roles in the new normal as well. In fact, I would be one more role, that's being a confident listener, uh, being present for somebody. Um, so many a times we don't actually understand the client, because after talking to him for 10 times and he telling you, yes, we will come back and close the deal, he still tells you to wait for some more time. Now it's time to just leave him and say, okay, fine, when you're ready, please come back, because I am there for you. And that's enough.
True.
Okay, clients also understand that they need to close, but then there are certain constraints they are going through as well. So आप SME हो या startup हो या company हो या जो भी हो, understand that there is something which is not allowing them to progress. Secondly, on personal life, try to become little more, okay, it's easier saying flexible, understanding, caring, nurturing, help karo, support karo, बच्चों को देखो. The most pragmatic or the most horrible thing is that people are so become webinar, I call them web bimar. Somebody taught me this. They've become so web bimar that they've forgotten that they have a house, because everything is like a workplace now. Now, what happens in that scenario is the worst person to get attacked is your child.
Yes.
However old he is, he's the first person to get attacked, because mother and father is so busy doing the work. पहले तो एटलीस्ट घर और काम होता था, दैट काम से आए हैं तो घर का माहौल है, घर देखते हैं. अभी घर और बाहर सब एक ही है. So there is no demarcation of this time I complete, this time I finish, and now it's my time for family. True. So please draw that line and have a family hour, have a lunch hour, have a dinner hour, so that you create some kind of togetherness at one moment and there is no frustration. नहीं तो काम करते करते सब लोग का time match नहीं होता and you are all just going monotonously, which is not going to help you grow. So yes, an influencer, observer, we play all these roles every day. True. We do contribute, we do observe, we do influence, we do motivate, we do grow, we do our roles. So we can't stop those roles, but yes, the roles have increased in time.
True. Great. Another question. I know the answer, still I will ask. Are you really confident that India will bounce back?
Oh, 200%. India has to bounce back. It doesn't have a choice and it will bounce back.
Wow, yes. Great. Now, last but not the least is the question is, your top 3 messages for the working women of the country.
Okay, working women, all of them are working. I will even tell the people who are working from home.
Yeah.
Plan your day properly. Always plan your day. If you want to get help in planning your day, always sit down with some kind of a notebook or a pin pad with both your family and your, so that includes your husband, your in-laws, if you have them with you, or your parents with you, or your children. Sit down and write down what is the times you want to eat, you want to enjoy, you want to do your work, and let everybody know your schedule. What happens is that then they don't intervene between your work hours and your enjoyment hours, and there's no screaming, yelling that अभी तो खाने का टाइम है, अभी तो अपना लैपटॉप छोड़ दो, बच्चे को बोलो आके बैठ जाए, वो भी गैजेट पकड़ के बैठा है, this that. So all those things come up. Now, having said that, I know that a lot of people work different global calendars. So I have training sometimes with a client at Singapore, or a client at Australia, or a client at Puerto Rico or Africa or anywhere. So the times are different. Now, having said that, please try supporting each other. ऐसे कोई रूल नहीं है कि बच्चे को संभालना सिर्फ माँ का धर्म है और खाना बनाना बाप का धर्म नहीं है और ये और वो. प्लीज एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करें. मैं ये भी नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि बाहर से मंगवाना है, मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि कुछ जो बना सकते हो बना लो, या तो फिर शांत करके थोड़ा पेशेंट रहो, बन जाता है. I think a lot of men have this good quality now that they are very patient. But for all the people who are having issues at their home, please, this is one good solution.
They have learned patience.
Yes. Again, coming back to motivating you with patience.
Yeah.
Secondly, what is the message I want to give a lot of women is, पहले तो planning है. दूसरी है, please stop over exaggerating too many things in the future. Don't think about the past, don't think about the future, stay in the present and enjoy the moment.
True.
Okay, so whether it's work, whether it's play, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, please don't start thinking मैं ये करूँगा, मैं वो करूँगा, मैं वो करूँगा, and then finally not do anything. That also creates a lot of problems, because while doing that, I think we get a lot of people in the ecosystem, and at the moment having less amount of people in the ecosystem is much better and safer, because we are in pandemic. And thirdly, I think we are all good to go. I think we are all happy. Stay satisfied, stay in gratitude. I always say you can give what you have. At least give your smile and give your happiness and give your qualities to everybody around you. I think the world will be a better place to live. You don't have to do anything more. Nothing very difficult. I'm not going to say all the bigger words, because everybody knows the bigger words. Everybody knows motivation. Everybody knows how to create their house. Everybody knows how to be a woman of substance or man of substance, of all that. So I speak very simple, and I keep very simple thoughts. I can say the top 5 qualities, top 10 qualities are this. But I think the simplest thing is just be yourself.
Wonderful.
And I'm sure everybody, like I always say, has the right to rise. So you all will rise, whether personal, professional, or in any of your spaces where you feel that you want to become a confident success maker. You all have miracles in you. Just go with it.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, I want your top 3 advices and suggestions for all the business owners and business leaders of the country regarding understanding the importance of POSH. So your top 3 messages for all the business owners and business leaders.
Okay, so for any business owner, the top qualities for being a highly successful people is that you want to create success. You want to have results. Okay, results don't come in one day, just like we know that Rome doesn't get built in one day. You need to be driven, you need to be determined, you need to be very clear, goal oriented. So start marking your goals and be very practical, guys. Don't say that I want to close a 1 crore by the end of this year, because this is not the year where you can make money. This is the year where you can build relationships. This is the year where you can create a lot of learning, and you can create what could be the plans as soon as the pandemic opens up. But this is not a year that you say, okay, I want 1 crore. That's not something, it's workable for some, not workable for many. but have your determination towards your goal and drive it. Number one. I said self-reliant, be dependable only on you and not the others. You can shoulder responsibilities of others, you can be accountable, but at the end of the day, think for yourself that it is for you to make those hard decisions whether I want to go ahead or not. So tomorrow, even if you want to do a POSH compliance, even if you want to do a awareness session, so a lot of people come and tell me, ma'am, awareness कर लेते हैं, policy बना लेते हैं, और उसके बाद हम लोग बाद में बाकी चीजें करते हैं. So I said completely take your accountability and make your decisions. Some people come and say, madam, हम लोग अभी भर देते हैं थोड़ा और बाद में भर देते हैं. And I'm okay with that as well because that's something that they want to do. But have the decisions on time. When you make a decision, I'm sure you will not go back. But if you don't make a decision, you'll always be strangling between life. Next is integrity. I again and every time I say, if you are truthful, if you are a person of integrity, ethics, and value, people will always come back because honesty always pays.
True.
A person of character, a person of integrity is much better than a person who fools you or a person just tells you and doesn't come back. So I am always a person of integrity and a person of word. I always cultivate those habits so that my clients know that I am somebody who they can trust on and they can come back. And finally, connection and relationships. Please go ahead, communicate, connect, network. Don't fear with whoever's all around. Keep your distance. Don't go over and above and hug them. But and don't be too pushy. Please talk to me. Please talk to me. If somebody doesn't want to talk to you, please leave them. Okay, maybe that's not the right time to connect, but connect, cultivate, nurture the relationship because this is the year of probably building people and a lot of love and compassion.
True.
I think the compassion will always pay back and you'll always be growing in the years to come because growth is all in your hands if you want to make it. So go for it. I'm sure the year is yours.
Wow, that's simply amazing and energizing and inspiring. Thank you so much, Raina ji, for your time. This was really an amazing interview. And I hope I'm really very hopeful that all my viewers have got a lot of insights and a lot of wonderful inputs, suggestions, and advices from you. So thank you so much once again for your time. So to all my viewers, stay tuned for the next episode with another brilliant personality, and India will bounce back and no one can stop it. Thank you and take care.